Imagine your property tax bill being chopped from thousands of dollars down to just pocket change.
It happened to one Kansas City area landowner after a long court battle against the government. So could it happen to you? Investigator Ryan Kath shows you how he did it and explains why it's making school districts very nervous. Ryan?
Well, Krista, in Missouri, the definition of a farm is in the eye of the beholder. Where you might see an empty piece of land, others see a way to harvest huge tax savings. But critics say it comes at a cost to students and to you, the taxpayer.
On a busy Northland street, drivers pass by this vacant piece of land across the street from a Quick Trip and next door to a hospital, and probably assume the grass and weeds will eventually be replaced by bricks and mortar.
It's 3 acres.
Bob Bateman thought the same thing when he bought the property more than a decade ago. But for now, the investor sees this as his 3-acre farm.
So you're basically just looking through the law on your own and you come up with this idea?
Yes.
The law Bateman scrutinized is Missouri's definition of agricultural property. He noticed a section that says devoted primarily to the raising and harvesting of crops, and it planted an idea. So in 2007, he let the grass grow, then paid to have it mowed and baled into hay. He didn't make a profit on the sale, but Bateman felt he'd found his cash crop in the form of a huge tax break. He took his pitch to Clay County's assessment department.
What was the reaction you got when you first went in there and said, I want to get the tax rate for a productive use farm?
Oh, they were totally against it.
Assessor Kathy Reinhardt explained why Bateman's argument was not taken lightly.
The tax bill changes dramatically.
Reinhardt denied the request, but Bateman took the debate to the State Tax Commission, which ruled in his favor. However, Clay County appealed and a judge reversed the decision.
Based upon the results of this lawsuit, Judge Harmon is a very bad judge.
Bateman didn't waste any time letting the judge know what he thought about the ruling, sticking this handmade sign on his property the very next day. He also didn't hesitate in taking his case to the Court of Appeals.
I think it's important that people do speak out.
Finally, 5 years after the legal battle started making hay in Clay County, the appellate court ruled in February that Bateman's land met the legal definition of an active farm.
So what's your new tax bill going to be per year?
I think that it will be somewhere around $5 a year.
A slight drop from the $4,000 he had been paying. So you can understand the assessor's reaction.
How shocked were you when the appellate court made that ruling?
I just about passed out. I mean, it's not a good decision for the state of Missouri.
Right after the court ruling, another developer who owns this chunk of land near a Ford dealership, I-35, and a hotel asked for the much lower farm tax rate on this property.
According to the county, the land had been assessed at $4.3 million, but under the new rate will drop to about $9,000.
How worried are you that people are going to start just getting word of this and coming in here to get this productive use value?
That's really why I didn't want to talk to you today. I think there are going to be a lot of people in here.
Since the ruling, the assessor's office reports more than an $11 million loss of assessed value, thanks to other investors following in Bateman's footsteps. Those big numbers have school leaders on edge because districts get a huge chunk of their funding from property taxes.
It's probably taking advantage of the situation, probably, but like I said, it's hard for me to blame somebody for trying to lower their taxes.
That's why this Northland state representative thinks lawmakers have a responsibility to find a happy medium for taxes on vacant land.
I think it's something that's very legitimate to look at, that we could look at and, look at some definitions here, over the course of the summer and the fall and say, can we do something legislation-wise to maybe tweak it to maybe stop the loophole?
There's a list of specific steps that has to be done.
According to Clay County's assessor, a loophole that Bateman drove a John Deere tractor through. But the determined landowner says he's just doing what it takes to keep from getting taxed off his property.
I just want to go by the law, and other people don't. Government does not. It's a huge victory for property rights in the state of Missouri.
North Kansas City Schools sent us a statement that says the district is, quote, concerned about the potential impact this decision could have on our long-term revenue since we already are operating on a tax base below 2004 levels. It goes on to say any further erosion from our tax base will make it difficult to sustain quality programs and services for our students. And Mark and Krista, not only will Bob Bateman be paying $5 in property taxes per year, he's also due a refund for overpaying the past 2 years. He's going to get a refund of $8,000.
Wow. That's amazing.
We talked about the Missouri